Hey everyone, finished installing this Ecoworthy 6-panel setup. And unlike the other videos, I'm not going to take you through the steps. You can read the directions, but I will take you through tips on what the directions can't tell you. Number one, on the base, Ecoworthy provides you with this very wimpy expansion bolt. I think it's absolutely pointless to recommend 2.5 feet deep concrete with this wimpy little thing. So I bought, this is what you want. You want a J-bolt, 1.5 feet long. I think it's a 1/2 inch diameter, and you get yourself 8 of those, you'll be good to go. Also, when you're making the concrete block, it's always nice to use a 6x6 like we did here. So that's tip number one. Don't go with the wimpy little anchor bolt that they gave you. Number two, these fasteners for fastening a solar panel on, they kind of tell you where to put this type and where to put the other type, which looks like it's hidden in here somewhere. I'll get to that. Yeah, here it is. This type. And that all makes sense. But what they don't tell you is that when you do this type, in the center, in the very middle, it cannot go through this white bar, right? So the bolt is too long. When you do the bolt here, it could slip through this hole. And so that confused me a little. I wanted to mention that because the length actually never needs to go through a hole. So it doesn't matter that this white bar has no hole. That just confused me because at first I thought these bolts that came with it were too long, but in fact, they work fine. And they don't even explain to you like how those grip the top of the panel. They grip like this for the outer panels, and you got them on both sides of the outer panel. And when they're gripping two panels at the same time, they grip like this. So it would have been nice to kind of have that understanding, since it was my first time securing panels. It would have been nice to know that or have some explanation of that in the directions. But I guess I figured it out as going. I've also heard some tips from other videos that you could mount these actuators with the motor up, or you could mount them with the motor down. And everyone seems to be saying mount them with the motor up to prevent water from entering here. So we did it that way. Here was another thing I wasn't used to. How exactly do these go through? They're supposed to go through the hole and then get bent down, I believe. I think that's how they're supposed to work. So that's the last tip. Other than that, the directions, they worked great. Stands about 6 feet off the ground. High enough so my goats won't nibble on the wires, but also nice to have it in the goat run where they can keep the weeds off the bottom.